Good afternoon from Disney's Hollywood Studios. Originally, I was on my way to Universal Studios, but the notification came through on my drive over there saying that they were at capacity. So I pulled over really quick and I opened up the Disney website and I was able to make a reservation just like 10 minutes ago for Hollywood Studios. So that's why we're here today, and they have a couple of new options for food. We're gonna go check them out. So here we are at Disney's Hollywood Studios at about 12:30 on a Monday. Doesn't seem that bad out front. We'll see what the crowd level's like inside. It is still spring break, so I am expecting a little bit busier of a crowd. And like I just said, Universal Studios reached capacity, so there's a lot of people there. I would imagine there would be a lot of people here as well. So when you first walk in to Hollywood Studios, off to the right is Oscar's, which is where you would be able to rent strollers and wheelchairs. But we were looking at Beach Club at the old Chevrolet car there. They also have an old Chevrolet tow truck here. Oscar's Super Service. We tow the stars. What's the last star that had their car towed, do you think? Like, which famous person was the last person to have their car towed because they broke down or just because they needed a tow? Pretty interesting to see the inner workings of this tow truck here, because I think that it runs down to the transmission down there. So when they engage some sort of switch inside or somewhere, then they're able to use the transmission of the car's engine to pull on these wires here to lift up the front end of a car to tow it. Doesn't seem too busy here. Well, it looks slightly busy back down there by Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, but the rest of the area here doesn't look that busy at all. Admittedly, as we get a little bit further down Sunset towards the Tower of Terror, it does seem a little bit busier. Let's go check on the wait times for Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. Also, like I said at the beginning of this video, we're going to be checking out some new food options at Disney's Hollywood Studios. But our first stop is over here at Rosie's All-American Cafe, and I already put my mobile order in on it, so let's go check on the wait times while we're waiting for our food to be ready. Looks like they're using the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater, which is where they would normally show Fantasmic, for the extended queue for Rock and Roller Coaster. So we have noticed that these lines appear to be very long, but that's just because of physical distancing. Take, for instance, right now, Tower of Terror is a 60-minute wait, which is still pretty long, but not necessarily unheard of during spring break. And let's go check on Rock and Roller Coaster, because the line looks very long. So like I said, the physical distancing in the lines can be deceiving, because over here at Rock and Roller Coaster, it's only a 35-minute wait, even though the line extends all the way over to the Fantasmic queue. So as of right now, Rosie's All-American Cafe is requesting that you use mobile order, and what ends up happening is a lot of people end up waiting outside of Rosie's All-American Cafe for their order to be ready. You don't have to wait right here, you can wait anywhere. I would suggest waiting in the shade over here. That's what I'm gonna do. So here's what I got from Rosie's All-American Cafe. This is the strawberry shortcake, which is vanilla cake layered with fresh strawberries and topped with whipped cream, strawberry crispy pearls, and dehydrated strawberries. And then I also got the snacking cookie sandwich, fluffy vanilla marshmallow sandwich between pretzel and potato chip shortbread cookies and covered in dark chocolate and sea salt. I'm really interested to try this one because it sounds weird. Like potato chip shortbread cookies and pretzels? So the strawberry shortcake was $6 and the sandwich snacking cookie was $5. All right, let's give these a try. I'm gonna start with the strawberry shortcake first because I'm not as interested in that as I was the snacking cookie cake thing. I think this should be just like a normal strawberry shortcake, right? Like there's not really anything special about it. You can see that there are like chunks of angel food cake in there and chunks of strawberries and some whipped cream on top. And then my arch nemesis, the crispy pearls. Yeah, I mean, it tastes just like a regular strawberry shortcake. It's good though. Like it has a nice light flavor. It's a nice and easy to eat on a hot day. Like today's a very hot day. It's about 105. I don't know, it says it's 76 outside. It definitely feels way hotter than 76. But in the shade, it's pretty nice. Like there's a little breeze blowing, and the sun, there's clouds are out, or like there's clouds everywhere, so it's kind of hiding the sun a little bit. Still sweating kind of a lot. It was also interesting to see because right at 1 o'clock, another set of boarding groups opened up for Rise of the Resistance, and I had a hard time finding a spot to sit because there were so many people sitting around the park, all on their phones, waiting for 1 o'clock to happen. And there were some people kind of near me that got one, but they got a backup boarding group at like 1:01, like 1 minute and 1 o'clock and 30 seconds or something like that. They got a backup group. So that means that a lot of the groups got filled up either this morning or they filled up really fast for the second time that you could get a boarding group. So a backup boarding group means that you might get on the ride today. Like they have a set number of boarding groups that they think they're going to get through for the day, and if everything goes well, Then they'll move on to the backup boarding groups. But if things go like typical, then they only make it through a specific amount of boarding groups for the day. This is delicious. Strawberries are nice and cool. The whipped cream is light. It's not too sweet. Like, you know, sometimes desserts, especially at Walt Disney World, can get very sweet. This one's not a sweet or overly sweet dessert. This is great. I would eat this again. Like I said, it's very nice on a hot day. Now it's time for the thing that I was excited for, the snacking sandwich. So it's like you can see, oh, darn it, I didn't bring the tripod because I didn't know I was doing this today. I'm very excited for this because it's such an interesting item. Like I said, marshmallow in between two like shortbreads that are made from pretzels and potato chips, and it's dipped in dark chocolate, and it's got sea salt on it. I'm excited to try this. Let's give it a try. Well, that's delicious. I do have to admit, it did, oh, it's nice and salty too. It smells very strange because it smells like potato chips. But it's good. Like the marshmallow is nice and fluffy. Wow, has such a nice, sweet, salty flavor to it. I keep getting it, like it's very umami. A little bit hard to eat, just to give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. There's nothing else in there other than marshmallow. So, oh man, yeah, stuff's falling off, pretzels are falling off. This is really good. I would eat just these shortbread cookies on their own, because they have little chunks of pretzels and little potato chips mixed in there. But yeah, definitely difficult to eat because it's falling apart all over the place. This is fantastic. It's not dry either. That's the one thing that I'm always concerned about with shortbread, is that it gets dry. This doesn't. It's nice and buttery. I'm sure that might not be butter. It might be grease from the potato chips. But like the mix between salty and sweet is so perfect. I will say that the pretzels that were on the top are stale. I don't know why pretzels do that, but they like the moisture is like sucked out of them by whatever they're on. I would eat this again. Matter of fact, I kind of think I will. The next time that we come, I might just get this just to have it. I don't know who came up with the idea of pretzel and potato chip shortbread, but they deserve a raise. So like I've said before, always place your mobile order before you get to the location that you're getting your mobile order from. So like right now, I just placed a mobile order for Backlot Express, which is kind of far away. It's actually across the park. But another little tip that I wanted to tell you is that you see how it says my window opens at 1:40, but it's 1:18 right now? Change your arrival time, and sometimes a new one will pop up earlier than your arrival window. Oh no, it just went up. Oh no. So it's okay though, because mine's for 1:40. I actually might place another mobile order for a different treat and then come back to Backlot Express, because that one's so far away. That time is so far away. So right now it's 1:18 and it says to be ready at 1:40. Another little tip is that 5 minutes before your window opens, you can say that you're there. So at 1:35, I will say, I'm here, prepare my order. So I opened up my mobile ordering for my next treat because I figure I would place an order for another treat while I'm waiting for that window to open. And I opened up Pizza Rizzo, and I just wanted to point out that down at the very bottom of the menu, they have a whole bunch of different allergy menus available, and you can see everything that is an egg allergy friendly if you pick on the egg allergy, and that tells the chefs in the kitchen that you have an egg allergy, so they will make it without any cross-contamination. But for me, I'm going to be getting this cannoli right here. So I placed my order at Pizza Rizzo. Like I said, it's across the park. I said I'm here, prepare my order, and I'll tell you as soon as I get the notification that it's ready. Right now I'm over here by Star Wars Launch Bay, which is a relaxation zone where you can take your mask off and enjoy some air conditioning. But I did also want to say that I am following the Disney Parks blog list of options here at Hollywood Studios, and I know so far we've only done desserts, and actually the first 4 things that we're going to try are desserts, but I promise there is one thing on here that is a savory item. It is not a dessert. So right now we are headed over towards Pizza Rizzo. As we're passing by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I wanted to point out how long this line looks, but then also mention it's only a 40-minute wait for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's only looking so long because of physical distancing. I also wanted to say that my order is ready at Pizza Rizzo, so we're gonna get over there real quick. It happened like 5 seconds after I placed it because it was a pre-made item. It's a cannoli, which they just pull out of the refrigerator, so it happened really fast. Let's go get us a cannoli. So this is the Hazelnut Crunch Cannoli, dark chocolate and caramelized hazelnut dipped cannoli shell filled with whipped hazelnut spread cheesecake. This was $5. It looks really nice. Let's see, basically like a Nutella cannoli. That's very sweet. I feel like it's like a mascarpone cheesecake because it has like a more bold flavor to it. Aside from the hazelnut in there, there's something else that gives it like a tangy punch almost. It's very delicious though. This shell is cooked to perfection. They filled it from both sides rather than filling it all the way through. So there's just like a big hollow spot right in the center. That like bold flavor is a bit much for me. I think I prefer the first two that we had so far. Still good though. I think if you're a fan of Nutella, I think you will love this. It's like a bitter flavor in there. Also, the caramelized hazelnuts on the shell, they're very, very sweet. I don't know. It was good, but not my favorite. I think I would prefer just like a regular cannoli and also those first two things, like I've said before. Another thing to mention is that we're 1 minute away from my window opening for Backlot Express. So like I said, my window opens at 1:40, but you can see it's 1:34 right now. So this should change in just a few seconds to where I can hit I'm here once it gets to 1:35. And like I said, we're not at Backlot Express right now, we're at Pizza Rizzo, but I'll say that I'm here, and then we'll start heading over to Backlot Express, and by the time we get there, should be ready. There it goes. Popped up right now, 5 minutes ahead of time. I'm here, prepare my order. So, there we go. Now they are preparing my order, even though I'm not there. I'm just sitting here at Pizza Rizzo. I can even wait until it says it's ready before even heading that way. But I'm just gonna finish up this cannoli, then we'll start walking that way, and by the time we get there, should be ready. Well, there it was. Barely even made it out of Grand Avenue, so Pizza Rizzo is literally that building right there. And they said that my order is ready over here at Backlot Express. So this is a paint can cake, and it was $7 at Backlot Express. Rainbow sprinkle confetti cake, layered with vanilla buttercream, a mango chocolate drip, and white chocolate paintbrush. I kind of love this thing. It looks awesome. Here's a look at the cross section. Here you can see it's like a nice confetti birthday cake. Looks good. I'm interested to try this mango drip. That mango is really good. Matter of fact, I kind of love that mango. That's amazing. I wish the entire crust was that mango because that really makes this cake. And the rest of it's kind of plain, but with that mango, it really gives it like a nice fruity punch. I think that you are more buying this cake for the look rather than the actual taste of it. This is good though. And it's more Instagrammable than all the rest too. So, there you go. So far my ranking is for the snack sandwich, the strawberry shortcake, the cannoli, and then this paint can. But that's not to put down the paint can. They have all been good. This one's just the worst of the best. Now we are headed into Galaxy's Edge to get our savory item. And that is a plant-based Ronto wrap. It's called a Zookey Wrap. I'm interested to try it because it's like zucchini and chickpea mixed together. We'll see how it is, because Ronto wrap's one of my favorite things to get in Galaxy's Edge. See how the plant-based option is. All right, we are headed into Galaxy's Edge, which is one of the busiest areas of the park. Also, Star Tours, hello! The end of the line for Star Tours is way back here, almost to Pizza Rizzo. Look at that. All right, so we are headed into Galaxy's Edge, which is just beyond this little archway here. We're gonna be transported from the streets of Hollywood to the streets of Batuu. We're headed to another planet. It's actually not as crowded back here as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, because this is normally one of the busiest areas of the park, aside from Toy Story Land. Doesn't look too bad. Oh man, so when this land first opened, we weren't supposed to have signs showing off where things were, because it was supposed to keep the theming. And now we've just got a sign saying Savi's Workshop, which is where you make your lightsabers, but they don't act like it's where you make your lightsabers. They act like it's a junkyard where you're just picking up junk to make sure that you stay under the radar from the Imperial forces as a rebel. So the building that has the circular top on it is the Millennium Falcon ride. The other one with the spaceship on top of it is Docking Bay 7, and this is where we're headed to, Ronto's Roasters. So this is the Zookey Wrap. This is grilled zucchini, smoked chickpea onion slaw, creamy garlic tahini sauce, and fresh cilantro wrapped in pita bread. This looks awesome. Like, I'm really excited to try this. I really like the original Ronto wrap, but this one, I think this one might take the cake. And this was $12.99. In addition to that, for $15.99, we got the Patty Frog Sipper, and I got it with some blue Powerade in it. Makes it look very otherworldly. I need to open it up so you guys can see the little frog inside. I'll open it up now so you can see it before I finish it, and then I'll show it to you after I'm done finishing it, or after I've drank it. Yeah, you can't really even see the frog inside of there. Another thing that I should mention is that when I bought this, they said be sure to carry it by the handle, because this is not meant to support the weight of this. So I'm sure it'll work just fine supporting it without anything in it, but when it has a liquid inside of it, it's pretty heavy, and it won't support the weight of that around your neck. All right, let's give this Zookey Wrap a try. Okay, so it has a little bit of spice to it. I do prefer the original Ronto wrap to this, but this has a really, really good flavor to it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, best thing that I've had today, even over top of that strawberry shortcake and the snack sandwich. This is awesome. Just be prepared for like the tiniest bit of spice. Not overpowering, not overwhelming or anything like that, but it does have a little bit of like back of the tongue spice on it. There's a spaceship landing nearby. It's good though. I like that the zucchini is nice and crisp and cool, whereas the chickpeas are warm and like smoky flavored as well as spicy. This is great. And then there's a little bit of an onion flavor in there too, like a sweet onion. Oh, this is fantastic. Almost like a pickled onion even. That's good. Yeah, I would eat this again. Like if I were, I don't know, if you're a vegetarian and you want to do a plant-based option, or even if you're not vegetarian and you want to do a plant-based option, give this a try. It's good. All right, here's a look inside of the Patty Frog sipper after I've drank all of my drink out of it. And there is a light on the bottom to illuminate whatever you're drinking. I think the Powerade looks the coolest. I don't know how well like a Coca-Cola would illuminate inside of this cup. But the Powerade was nice and blue and it lit up. I bet you this would be awesome at night with like a blue glowing drink inside of it. So the next thing that I want to get isn't actually a food option. I'm going to go to Docking Bay 7 and click on here. It says cargo. They have a Spork available. This is a Star Wars Spork. It is $11. Limit 1 per guest. So when Docking Bay 7 first opened, the only utensil that you got was a Spork, and people were stealing them, so they said, oh, we should just sell them. So now they're selling them. So I just mobile ordered a Spork, and now I'm waiting for my arrival window to open. Let's see if I can change it. Nope, 2:30, that's the soonest, that's okay. I can say that I'm ready in 2 minutes. So before we head into Docking Bay 7, I did want to point out that over here at Ronto's Roasters, they close at 3 o'clock. So if you want to get a vegetarian Zookey Wrap, you have to get here before 3, because although a regular Ronto wrap is available at Docking Bay 7 after 3, the Zookey Wrap is not. It is only available here at Ronto's Roasters. I wanted to come over here to Millennium Falcon, over here to Smuggler's Run to see what the wait time is. It's a 60-minute wait for Smuggler's Run, and it looks like you have to go backstage in the line. So anywhere that is not visible to guests is considered backstage at Disney, and they are putting guests backstage here for the line for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I did want to point out that, but because it does go backstage, the end of the line is right here. Usually, if they don't go backstage, the end of the line ends up pretty close to the entrance to Toy Story Land, but not today. All right, I got my name called for my Spork. So I've got my Spork in its little travel case. I'll show you the Spork in just 1 second, but I did want to point out that here at Docking Bay 7, if you're only ordering a Spork, they have a case full of Sporks here right at the front entrance, so you don't actually have to go into the restaurant to get your Spork. Another thing that I wanted to point out is there's a photo pass area here, and they've got it blocked off with some space fruit. What is this, like space corn? Wow. I'd like to try some space fruit one day. Probably one of the weirdest souvenirs that you can get in Galaxy's Edge is this Spork. So strange. There is also a super zoom photo over here right next to where this space fruit is. So basically there is a camera far away. I don't know if you guys can see them. There's 2 cameras over there. Those little white boxes. One takes a close-up view and the other one takes a far away view. And they zoom in on it without any break in the photo. So they zoom in until they get to the smaller photo, then they zoom in on you. I'll go take one of them so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Here, are you keeping the glasses? Oh yeah, that's right. Ready? Yeah. You only need to maybe one hand in your pocket or 2. Okay, take it over to 7. There you go.
All right, we've made it out of Galaxy's Edge and now we are back on Grand Avenue, which is what they call this section of the park right here. And our very last treat is over here at this cart. And this is the Mickey-shaped brownie. I love this thing. It's adorable. It is just a chocolate chip brownie that was available at the Grand Avenue cart for $4.29. I don't know, it looks good. I'm interested to try it. I always like just simple desserts at Disney, like a chocolate chip cookie or a chocolate chip brownie. So let's give it a try. So after I pulled the little ear off here, it's like very spongy on the bottom. It has like a nice crisp top to it. So like the top would be like the edge of the brownie or the corner of the brownie, and the bottom would be the center of the brownie. Oh, it's good. Nice and moist. I do wish it was a little bit more crisp. This is more of like a cake brownie than a fudgy brownie, and I prefer a fudgy brownie. So if you're looking for a quick snack, I don't know if you can eat it on the go anymore because you're not supposed to move when you're eating, but this is good. Like a nice quick dessert, a little Mickey brownie. I do have to admit though, of all the stuff that we ate, this is on the bottom of my list. This is even below the cannoli. But everything that we ate today was delicious. This is still under the cannoli. It's a very delicious brownie. Just had some stiff competition today. All right, as we are headed out, let's swing into Disney & Co. just real quick to see if there's any new merch here. Haven't been in a while, so there might be. Seeing a couple of colors of purple here for the Spirit jersey. These are $70. Still just like heavy shirts. I know that they make short sleeve Spirit jerseys, and I think that they should release those for the summer because long sleeves is very hot, and it's very hot here in Florida. Before we leave, it looks like Mickey Mouse and friends are coming out because nothing can stop them now. Here comes Chip and Dale. And there's Minnie Mouse. And Donald. Donald's number one. Actually, Mickey, you're number one. We all agree. Right, Mickey? See you later, Mickey. So there you have it. That was our trip out to Disney's Hollywood Studios to try some of their new snacks and desserts. Seemed like it was a lot of desserts. All in all, it was a fantastic trip. I liked everything that we tried. All of it was delicious. My favorite thing was the Zookey Wrap. I do have to tell you, it is only available until 3 because Ronto Roasters is only open until 3. The other thing that there is a breakfast Ronto Wrap. We'll have to try that one morning. So breakfast is really hard to do here at Hollywood Studios because it's only available for a short period of time, usually about an hour, right when the park first opens. So if you want breakfast when you come to the park, you have to get in and get it as soon as you get here because it's not available for very long at all. Everything that we tried was delicious, and it was great to come here when Universal Studios said that they were at capacity and we couldn't get in. They still haven't come back out of capacity yet, so we wouldn't have been able to go today. But we will try to go another day in the near future. We'll see how it goes. So we're just waiting for spring break to be done when the crowds will die down a little bit. All in all, a fantastic day, and with that being said, we are off. We will see you all tomorrow. Now it's time to pay the price.